Hey guys, today I'm going to grill a top round steak or London broil. So let's get queuing. There's two London broil steaks in this package here. I got these for $4.99 a pound, so they're about 2 pounds a piece, so it's $20.91. Regular price is $46.05. So it's a pretty good price these days, but I used to get these for like $1.99 a pound before the prices got crazy over the last several years. So like I said, there's two of them in here. I'm going to pull one out and put in this dish, and I'm going to marinate it. I'm going to use vinegar and oil for my marinade. So this is red wine vinegar that I'm using, but you can use like apple cider vinegar or balsamic vinegar or whatever kind you happen to have. I usually use like roughly about half vinegar and about half oil, so I don't really measure it, I just kind of eyeball it. So put some over the top of that like that, and then this is avocado oil. Put some of that in there. You can use really any kind of oil you want. I use avocado oil most of the time. So pour some of that in there, and then some Worcestershire sauce. That always gives it some good flavor. This has vinegar in it as well. So just sprinkle in. That's the end of that bottle. So use that, and then some kosher salt and some Johnny's seasoned pepper. Besides pepper, this has sugar, red and green bell pepper, garlic, and onion in it. If you don't have this, you could just use some salt and pepper and maybe sprinkle in some, you know, garlic powder and onion powder if you like that, or you can use other seasonings if you like. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm just gonna flip it over and do the other side. Now what I'm gonna do is poke holes in this to help the marinade get into the meat. These are kind of tough pieces of meat, so you can use a fork or a knife. I'm using a knife here, and I'll just go around and just poke it full of holes and flip it over and do the other side the same way. And I'm just going to let this sit on the counter for a while, because when it gets up to room temperature, the pores open up in the meat and it helps the marinade get in there better, in my opinion. Also, it brings the meat up to room temperature, so you don't have to cook it as long and it won't dry out as much. Now I'm going to flip this over and do the same thing to the other side. You don't have to marinate these, but it makes them more tender and it gives them more flavor, so I think they're better if you do. But like I said, you can just season the outside and cook them that way if you want to. Now I'll probably let this sit on the counter for a couple hours and probably just flip it, you know, several times. And sometimes kind of just massage it a little bit like this. Flip it, you know, and massage it to help the marinade get into the meat. And you can kind of tell after it's been sitting here a while, it'll just start to soften up and get more tender. This has been marinating for 2.5 hours, and I think it looks good. I've flipped it over a few times, but see how that meat's all really softening up now? You can tell the marinade's into it pretty good. You can let it go longer if you want. You can let it go all day if you want, although you may want to put it in the refrigerator if you let it go too long. It's cold today, so I'm not really worried about it. Anyway, I have my little Weber Q1200 gas grill warming up out there, so I'm going to put it on that. I have my grill on high, and it's warmed up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, so let's get this steak on there. Alright, it's been about 10 minutes, so I'm going to open this up and flip it over here. Oh yeah, nice color on that. We'll close the lid and let it cook a little bit longer. It's been about 8 or 9 minutes on that side, so I just opened the lid up there. See what the internal temperature is. I usually shoot for about 130 degrees Fahrenheit. 137 right there, 146 right there, yeah, about 143 right there. That's good. I'm going to get it off of there. The grain of the meat runs that way, so you want to cut across the grain. What you normally do with these is just cut them up into thin slices, and then people can just grab a few pieces. So it looks juicy. There's juice all over the plate. So let's see what the inside looks like here. It's cooled down a little bit. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I sliced some of this up. Let's try it out. For 10 bucks, this piece of meat will feed a few people if you have other food to go with it. It has good flavor from the marinade. It's fairly tender with the marinade. For the price, those are one of the best ways to feed a few people. Annie seems excited about this one. A little excited there, Annie? There you go. Want another piece? Want the other half? There you go. We'll get a double one on that one. There you go. Ooh, you even caught it. Those are really good when you marinate them like that, and they'll feed a few people for pretty cheap. Even ask Annie, she seemed to really like it. Anyway, I'll write everything in the description like usual. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.